Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of 31 days of cut files. We are on day 29, which means we are getting to the end, you guys. The cut file I'm using today is the messy stack of dishes, and I am documenting something a little bit different. Um, so the last few times I have gotten sick, which seems like it's been way too often this year, my husband has stopped and picked up pho for me. And actually, a couple of times he just said, I'll take care of dinner, which he does frequently, but he surprised me and got pho. And I don't know about you guys, but I love it. I just like their steak and brisket one. If you don't know what pho is, it's um, a Vietnamese soup. And I, in your part of the country, maybe you call it pho, but here we have a very large Vietnamese population and it's called pho, according to them. So, uh, so I'm documenting the soup that he brought me, and my title is going to be When I Am Sick, He Brings Pho. And I just wanted to document that he goes out of his way to do that for me. I've maybe asked for it like once or twice, but uh, he has just done it on his own several times, and I really appreciate it, and I think it's really thoughtful of him to do that. And like I said, I love this stuff. So uh, even in the summer, I'll eat it in the summer as well. And so what I'm doing here is I backed my cut file using some peachy creamy kind of paper, and then this blue paper, which is from 49 and Market. And then I'm using these rub-ons from 49 and Markets. I believe they're it's from everywhere. And I'm using the little blue strips, which are usually like found on maps, but I'm not using the numbered portion of it. I'm using the stripes. I want it to kind of look like the stripes around the rim of a of dishware. And so that's the look I'm going for. And yes, I know it's a messy stack of dishes. Actually, I created this cut file, so I'm very familiar with what it is. But I thought it went well with my noodles, and um, I like the way that it looks, so I'm going to use it for that. It is also going to be a landing place for my title, or at least a portion of my title. What I was doing there with the white pen is I had one of my rub-ons touched the edge of the cut file and a little bit of it was stuck on and I couldn't scrape it off. So I just used a white paint marker, like a white chalk paint marker over it just to kind of blur it out a little so that blue wasn't quite so vibrant on the edge of um, the cut file. So I'm going to finish that up and then I will finish cutting out the rest of my cut file, cutting the background away from the edges of it. And you can use whatever scissors you like. A lot of times I will use my big scissors. Sometimes I use these, uh, I don't know what they're called. They've got like a bird on the handle, but sometimes I use those. Sometimes I use my little cuticle scissors if I really need to get into the point of something. But most often I do use actually my huge ones if it's just a small air or a large area. And um, go with what's comfortable for you. I know the big ones are not comfortable for a lot of people to use for this purpose, but for me, it doesn't usually matter. So I just took the leftovers that I trimmed off of the cut file and I am using it to back a piece of paper or back my photograph. And then I used a little bit more of the rub-on to bring that dark blue over to the right-hand side. Now, the paper that I'm using, I have no idea where it's from. I have really no clue, but it reminded me of a placemat, so that's why I chose this paper, and I'm liking the way that it looks so far. I'm also pulling in some 49 and Market. I believe this is Moonlit Garden, and I'm just creating a little kind of cluster on each side. I did consider using those little flourishes to be like the steam coming off the soup on my cut file, but then it's going to interfere with my title. So I decided not to use it for that purpose. I did actually find some paper in my scrap bin that is very similar to the background paper, and I think it's going to work great. It's kind of like a bluish, blackish gray. and it's going to work great for my title. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And I'm using some dies from scrapbook.com. It is their brand of die. I can't remember the name of them. I will try to put that in the links down below in case you're interested in that. And I am backing my paper with some foam so that my letters stand up or have dimension. I am also going to tape them down to my paper so that I can cut them. So I put the foam down. The foam is adhesive backed. I put them on the adhesive portion onto my paper, and then I fold the adhesive or the backer back over the paper, and then I cut it so that my scissors don't get sticky. Hopefully that makes sense. And then these are really fine letters, so I'm just doing the word sick and fa in this title or this font, and then I'm going to use these little tiny ones to create the rest of the title. And these little tiny ones, I think they're from Paper Rose. Um, Again, I'll put a link down below. I'll have to look up and make sure that that's where they're from, but I will put a link below for that in case you're interested in those as well. And I did not pop those ones up onto foam. I left those ones flat, and I think that's okay. Really wanted the other words to stand out just a little bit more, and it was just perfect that the word fa fit right inside my bowl there. I didn't plan that, it just happened unintentionally, and I'm really happy with that look. So I considered putting it all up above the bowls, but it didn't leave me enough room because these really skinny letters are also very tall. So part of my title is going to be on the doily, part of it's going to be on the bowls, and I like the way that it looks, so I'm just going to keep going with it. Now I know these colors are very similar to the colors that I used yesterday, blue and yellow yesterday. I'm using a darker blue today and a lighter shade of yellow, I guess. Um, the colors just work great together, so it wasn't planned that way, but that's just the way it worked out in the order of the way the cut files were on the calendar. So I'm happy with it, and it's okay. They're going in two different albums, so it doesn't matter. It's not, I don't scrapbook chronologically, but I do file my layouts chronologically, so they'll be in different albums. And actually, yesterday's layout will go in the little guy's album. I apologize if you hear my pets behind or coming through the speaker as well, but yeah, it's the nature of having pets. They're very rude and don't ever acknowledge that I need them to be quiet. So, as if I should expect that. So, I've got this little flag. It's on kind of on a toothpick looking piece, but it's not really on a toothpick. And I am popping it up onto some foam just because there's some dimensional pieces underneath it. And I didn't want it to get crushed in the album. So, giving it a little bit of support with some foam. And then just adding a little bit to the left-hand side of my bowls. Once I get all of that glued down, then I will go ahead and start on my title. You can see here is where I'm deciding whether I want the words up above or down below and playing with that. While I play with those letters, don't forget to go check out what MK's got on her channel for today's cut file. She is using the same cut file, and there are other people playing along as well, so there's a playlist down below. You can go and check that out and see what everyone is doing. You can also check out our Facebook group for 31 Days of Cut Files so that you can see the inspiration that other people are posting over there. And you are welcome to play along, whether you have purchased the cut files from MK and I, or if you're using your own, that's fine too. We are happy to have everybody playing along. It's just a great place to get inspiration on cut files. So go and check that out. All the links are down below for you, so you can get to those easily. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these down, and my little tiny letters, I like to put a little glue on the back of my hand, and I dip my letters into it, and then I use my tweezers to adhere them. It works really well for me because my hand is right there. I don't tend to set things down in the glue that way. It's also very convenient because I don't have to go looking for where I made a pile of glue on my desk, And it's really easy to clean up because I just wash my hands or use a baby wipe to wipe it off. So if you're one of those people that as a kid you like to peel glue off of your fingers, you can do that too. So here's where I am just using my acrylic block to hold everything in place, especially the ones that are foam backed. I want to make sure that they stay in place until the glue kind of sets a little bit. And so that's what my acrylic block was doing there. And then I'm just going to add this little piece over the heart onto the right hand side. And I don't have a whole lot more to say, a lot of journaling to do. That little circular piece on the right hand side will be probably plenty because my title says most of it already. So I'll just note the date and whatnot on top of that heart and then write a little note in that little half circle on the right. That is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe, and you can hit the bell to get notifications each time I release a new video, which will be tomorrow with another cut file one. So come back and see me then. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.